Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the podcast. It's a little cold here, so I'm have a heater on, and it's wintertime in Texas. It's also the new year.
Happy New
Happy New
Year.
Year. I'm here with John. I'm Brendan Lee. And today we're going to talk about, at least we're going to start our conversation talking about the levels of initiation, earning your chops. We're going to talk about earning your chops and what that's like, because both of us have done stuff where we have earned chops. And
Chops were earned.
yeah, we done earned some chops. I think this comes about a bit because of a comment that I got on my YouTube channel, which I will also probably, not promising, but I'll probably make a video on that, where the guy now somebody on my YouTube channel came up and they said, because I talk about a forum, which you can join the forum, the links are in the description. Come check it out and or check my website, and there's a forum there where you can ask me questions. And so he comment, I'm assuming it's a he, I don't know, comments, this person commented and they said something like, where is this forum?
Yeah.
And I immediately was like, I made some connections to the level of inquisitiveness and curiosity, I could say, that it takes for, at least say, becoming conscious of something that I'm not conscious of. I need to be curious, and I need to be able to look past the first layer of what's in front of me and actually do a little bit of work to dig down to, in this case, find the link to the forum in the description of the video. It's a couple taps away or a couple clicks away. Or where is that forum likely to be? Probably on my website. So go to the website and look around. And
Yeah.
now I was talking to John a little bit about that, and he's like, "Yeah, there's something. Well, why don't you tell us what you came back with the kung fu stories?"
Yeah, that came to my mind was kind of the archetypal kung fu monastery where you have to wait outside the door, kind of like in Fight Club. You've got to wait outside on the porch and 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 um go through some suffering before they'll let you into the first level, and then you have to go through more suffering before they'll let you into the second. And you have to show that you really want the thing that you're going for. It's got value to you,
Yeah.
and that's demonstrated in those archetypal um, kung fu monastery stories.
Like what
um,
were you saying? There are like some circles. Like you have at first you get to the kung fu monastery and you've got to wait outside the wall because you ain't shit. Like you don't have squat, and then you have to
right.
prove that you
And then
want in, and then they let you in, and then you have.
and but you're just like hitting a board and doing like one form, and you've got to do some like really basic stuff, and it's really monotonous.
Boring.
you
Yeah.
you chopping wood, carrying water, going up and down
You go up,
stairs, and
you get like Jackie Chan in the movie. Like, let's come up with some examples. Like, there's Jackie Chan in the movie. He's carrying the water up the stairs, but the buckets have holes in it, so he's got to run up the stairs.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
Conan the Barbarian had to like turn the wheel around forever until he got big. In Fight Club, they had to wait outside. Now, these are in the movies. Now, like in real life, I came here to train, and I asked Peter for money off of a workshop, and he said to me, he's like, "Yeah, you can come here and work and get money off a workshop, but you're better off working for somebody else because it's going to be
uh.
easier." Like he legit said that. No? And it was true because I came here and I worked like a dog, and I didn't know shit about hard work, and I had to
mm,
work my ass off. And yeah, like other
yeah. And
there seems to be a thing here. Yeah, go ahead. What were we gonna say?
I think with it's a really big difference between like buying a car or a toaster or life insurance or something like that, versus learning a skill or developing consciousness, you know. And maybe someone might say that to a certain extent, like consciousness could be considered, like becoming conscious could be considered a skill. Like and when you're doing that kind of work, it's not easy. It doesn't come automatically, and you have to want it because it's not going to fall on your ass. It's not like the car that you buy where, okay, you've got the money and here's your car,
Boom, boom.
here's your
Yeah.
toaster.
Yeah.
It's not that kind of, and so the customer service relationship is not the same.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, because I've got like some questions bubbling up now, or some curiosities bubbling, right? So even something about work. If you want your body to change, you need to put in work. If you and
Mhm.
even if you want the car, you have to work to get it, because you have to work to make the money so then you can pay. And
Yeah.
so there's like this work aspect. So no matter what you do, I don't know, like you got to work for it. And stuff like consciousness is, yeah, you can't just say you want to come here and do a workshop, which you should. Come on down. Oh, the links, go check the website and then sign up or whatever. That's my shameless plug. Yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah, there's a
You
real
have to work
cost.
for it. And even worse with consciousness work, your own mind will get in the way. Oh, I want to be somewhere else. I'd rather be distracted. Can I look at my phone? Could I do something that's more comfortable? Not that it's
Mm.
intentionally uncomfortable, but then you're also, your own desires and wants and needs and feelings will come up, and they'll try to push you in another direction rather than discovering what those things are. It'll be like, push me
Mm.
somewhere else. And then, so then even your own mind is saying, no, we don't want to do this. Maybe. So then, yeah, it's not
Yeah,
like you just pay a workshop facilitator and they snap their fingers and you get conscious. No, the workshop facilitator manipulates the fuck out of you so that you do the work to get it yourself.
that's it. They manipulate. Yeah, you're professional manipulator for a righteous cause.
Yeah.
I watch a YouTube channel that's very, very entertaining, and instructive. I play chess a little bit,
Yeah.
and it's called Gotham Chess, and this is like a tremendously popular YouTube channel, millions and millions of subscribers, and wow, right? And the guy is entertaining. He is very, very funny and witty, and yeah, just it's fun. But he's also really, really good at chess, and he has all kinds of content, blah blah blah. But he produces material that you pay for. He's got a book, he's got courses that you can take, and he puts links in the in the description, and he's got a website, and he runs into that same problem, people asking, where do I find the link? And when he's on his YouTube channel, when he's doing his live feed, if somebody asks him stuff like that, he just makes merciless fun of them right there in front of everybody. It just you know he's where's the link? I don't know. I I don't even think there is a link. It's just like, because it's the same thing. His content is very entertaining, and this what we're doing right now is like the entertainment aspect of what you do.
It is. Yeah. This is the entertainment branch. And you can see even.
Yeah, and so it's whatever, but but his has got a lot of entertainment. But at the end of the day, if you want to get good at chess, he says it's boring. It's hard. You have to sit down and study. You got to do the work.
Yeah.
And the better you want to get, the more hard and boring it's going to be.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like so many things. I mean, I watch people on business. They're like, you need to work on it. You business people think, oh, I can just do business and it'll work out. No, I listen to this podcast, How I Built This, and it's all about business owner after business owner after business owner starting from zero and then growing a business, and it's like every single one of them worked their fucking ass off. Like there wasn't a single person in there that didn't take risk, do tons of work, and make corrections and run into problems and run into challenges and all this stuff and face adversity. Oh, can you give me money for this? No. What the fuck business? Why would I give you money for that? Your business sucks. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Like all this opposition.
And so the first bit of adversity in something like going to a martial arts school or a consciousness center school is finding the door. You got to be able to find the door. If you can't get to the door after somebody's told you that there is a door, then, maybe you're not cut out for this, because you're going to need that spirit and a whole lot more.
Right. This
to keep doing the work once you get inside.
That spirit is a bare minimum. This, I'm going to go find something for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go work on it and then do it. Don't just say it, but it has to be done. And so maybe there's a circling back to this earning the chops business. They're in the stories, or I guess that's like The Apprentice. Like people, I don't know, like when I was young and I first met Peter, I thought I knew everything. And I did, of course. And
you did.
And he, like, I remember him picking me up in the car, and I said, like, he has degrees. There's a degree system in the martial art that he founded, and I had the audacity to say in the car, like, oh, can I just get like degree 6 in a week? That's like the martial arts equivalent of a white belt at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu going in on their first class and being like, can I get black belt in a month? Or like going into any trade where a tradesman has been working for 20 years and they've worked a bunch of shit out in the 20 years, and the first guy comes in, can't even hammer a nail right, can't even put a screw in straight, can't even clean up or work a broom, going like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be better than you, old man, in a month. And it just it just literally doesn't work that way. And so I think when I came in, I had this mindset that I was way better than I was, and only after all of the learning, now I'm older, I'm more mature, and I see young guys come in, say, and they might have a mindset where they think they know shit, and they have no idea how little they know, or something like that. So then it seems like this earning the chops stuff is like a necessary, like that's just how it goes in order to make progress. Is that a true statement?
Yeah, 100%. If you're wanting to learn something, you have to do the work, and some things require a lot more effort and personal investigation than others. I think some things are like you can learn, and they're kind of like memorization things, like you could memorize statistics for, I don't know, baseball players or something like that, and then you're an expert about like that. Okay, and you did the work and you did it, and that did take some work to do, for sure. But at the end of the day, you're just remembering information that was told to you, and you're regurgitating that. That's one kind of learning, and some people are really smart and they can do a lot more of that than other people. But it's only operating at one level. It's just purely that one thing. Whereas if you want to do something like learn to play chess, that's much more involved. And then if you want to learn something like a musical instrument, that's much more involved still, because now we're working with the body and a lot more feeling and so forth. And then if you want to learn something like martial arts, well, that's even more involved, because it's the body and feeling plus a lot of physical adversity and the possibility of loss and winning and pain and physical danger and all of that. And it just goes up from there. It's like the more you confront reality, the more you really have to do it and take responsibility for yourself.
Yeah.
And no one can do it for you.
Yeah. So now those are the facts, and I have maybe a devil's advocate thought brewing because I can imagine people like
I'm the
we.
devil around here. I do the devil's
Oh, sorry.
advocate stuff.
Excuse me. I'll
Uh,
advocate for.
Angels?
No, no.
Fairies?
Archangels? We don't know.
Y-
It's a goddamn
y-
mystery. Uh, uh, like maybe it's the thought that I just get a sense that maybe there will be people out there who will be like, well, no, it's wrong to have somebody earn their chops, or what do you mean my opinion isn't worth
Oh,
anything? Do you get the pushback I'm talking about?
yeah, I do.
Like it's not
It's
fair.
yes.
I should be treated equally. I should be treated like I don't know, like just I just want to break it open in a very crude way, and then maybe we can get more concise and more narrow focus. But like the beginner isn't treated like the advanced person because they
Yeah.
haven't earned it. There's nothing there to show me that there's anything to respect because I haven't seen anything. What, you want me to respect you and treat you equally, but you can't even sweep a fucking floor? Something like that. It's like you got to learn the beginning steps before somebody who is very serious will take you more seriously. So what's the pushback?
Well, the pushback is that people that are very, very coddled and very, very protected and
Mm,
live in little bubbles and have never had to do any real work and have never had to suffer or face any real adversity in their lives can believe, and it's just a belief, that essentially there's no such thing as a master. There's no expertise to obtain, and all points of view are equally valid. Everybody's got their own truth. And
maybe that's
I
part.
can,
Go ahead, keep going.
yeah, like
Yeah,
it's an assumption that can be made because you've got a point of view, I've got a point of view. Yeah, that
right.
checks out, Roger.
Yep, we both
And
have a
my
point of
my
view.
point of view is not inherently less valid than yours.
Right.
But until I've earned my chops, until I've been in earning my chops, it just means, well, it could be somebody's imposing something upon me, or it could just mean that I've confronted enough reality that I've earned some chops. And until I've confronted that kind of adversity, that reality, then I don't really recognize that different points of view have differing levels of validity. They
Right.
do.
Yeah.
You don't want just any Joe Schmo doing your dental work or flying your airplane.
Yeah. I don't. I want the best.
You know?
I want the military. I want the person I want flying my plane is a military dude that's flown combat missions, has been shot at in rainstorms and shit. So that when
Yeah.
he needs to handle something bad on an airplane, he's like, I got this. Why? Because he's done it before.
Yeah, you don't want someone that's entitled and to their opinion, and that's why, and people have kowtowed to that, flying your airplane.
Yeah, so let's talk about validity then for a bit, because yeah, it's like, yeah, my opinion, I've never faced anything really challenging because when I get challenged or confronted, it's not comfortable. And so people would say, well, that's harsh. I do not want you to experience any harshness, say maybe in the coddled parent child relationship, or the child that has like, oh, I should never want my child to experience harsh realities. So then they grow up as if, quote, soft. They don't get the learning, like that kind of learning.
Yeah,
And
I
that's
was
what,
talk
yeah.
I was talking to my son today, who's homeschooled, and um, we do dodging every morning. We do dodging. We do about like 20-25 minutes of dodging every morning.
Really? That kid's good. Okay. Is that okay?
And
I just extrapolated out and be like, fuck, he's gonna be pretty good, pretty quick here.
and um and a couple weeks ago he had an encounter where we were walking in the street, and two guys on a moped on a scooter almost ran him over on the sidewalk. They just came barreling down the sidewalk and almost ran over my kid. And my kid dodged.
Fuck yeah.
He
Dodging
jumped out of the way.
way.
And he was scared. He got scared.
Yeah.
But afterwards, I talked to him, and then he was like, Dad, I dodged. And his enthusiasm for dodging practice, he hates dodging practice.
Oh,
He hates it.
Okay.
But his enthusiasm has markedly increased
Yeah.
since that encounter.
Interesting.
And it was there before because he had some pride in his ability and he thinks it's cool. But I talked with him today because he did a little dodging and we do other things too. And like I said, he's homeschooled.
Yeah.
And I said to him, hey, I might ask you to do some things. I might be a little harder on you than other dads sometimes. And the reason for that is because you're homeschooled. It's my job to help you grow. And the way that I do that, I see it as my job is multiple times throughout the day, every day, to make you uncomfortable in ways that force you to adapt to become better. and he said that I know. I just complain sometimes because I don't like it. And he gave me a big hug.
Oh,
which
cute.
was very sweet
Yeah.
and it showed me he's starting to get it,
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
It's cool. Yeah, the coddling of people doesn't help them. I mean, destroying people doesn't either. Like you could put somebody under so much pressure that they break and never recover. That's not what we're talking about.
Right. Or like what I'm thinking about also is the maybe dark side of earning your chops. You see, there is the organization, they can be like, well, you need to earn it. You need to earn your way. You need to do this, that, and the other thing. But their intentions are wrong.
Or
Like
they're trying to, they want to, like a cult, or they just want to keep you down at the bottom for a long time and there's really no way to the top. It's an old boys club, whatever.
Yeah, some shit that is that same thing, but pointed in a destructive direction.
I think that reality aimed enterprises tend to, not completely, but they tend to weed that out to some extent. And when I say reality, what I mean is you're confronting the real and less the constructed. So like boxing falls into that, physical construction of like buildings falls into that, but like interpretive, like literature probably falls into that less, and politics falls into that a lot less. It's like like things that where it's all about opinion and who's cool and who's who is a very different domain than learning to scale mountains or something like that.
Yeah, or something where physical reality is gonna take you for a ride if you mess up.
Yeah, because you don't have, it's like if you've developed the skill and the old boys have lost the skill, well, guess what? You're the new old boy.
Yeah.
Or girl.
Yeah, so let's see. So where are we at? Let's see, earning chops. Where are we at with that? It was
maybe it's just I don't know. Where are we at with that? It's needed. One should do it, and if you don't have the ability to find the link, you're not worthy of the link.
Right, so it's like worthiness
not imposed by God, but just like it's a prerequisite. Find the damn link. It's not hard. Yeah, you said it was in the description.
Yeah, take a look past. I guess in many ways I could frame this up, but it's like I think maybe some of the value I'm trying to contribute here with my pointing and shaming and whatever is trying to also inspire people who are listening. Like, look, if you're a beginner at something, what's an effective perspective to have? Or what is an empowered perspective to have, in the sense that, like, what's the best way to be a beginner? Like, if you're going to go learn something, like I did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Hawaii for a while. I went to BJ Penn's place like years ago. I went there and I spent some time, like several months, training almost daily, like quite a bit. And the advice that I got was like, you're going in, there's going to be a bunch of Hawaiians there, just shut up and train. I was like, yeah, because in that world, the merit is based on my performance on the mat, and I'm not there. I could go in and boast and be like, yeah, I can talk this and that and the other thing, but I'll still get wasted on the mat. So like my opinion about what I like and don't like is irrelevant. My opinions about who's done what martial arts are irrelevant. My opinions about even what the other people look like is irrelevant. Like all of my opinions are really worth squat.
Yep.
In that domain. Why? Because I don't know anything. I haven't done it before, and it's a new environment. Okay, so I'll just get to work. I think that's what teachers value the most in that apprentice realm. I think is like, oh, they really want it and they're working on it on their own with nobody telling them what to do, and they're finding things out. Something like that. Like, if your opinion doesn't mean squat when you're a beginner.
Yeah, and some people, maybe maybe no one on listening to this channel would be offended by that, but if enough people heard that, some people might be offended because it might invalidate their perspective.
Right. And that's because your perspective in this case, depending on, if we get more nuanced with it, probably depending on the domain in which you go, your perspective doesn't mean shit. Why doesn't it mean shit? Well, because it doesn't contribute anything except your perspective. Like it doesn't, and I'm generalizing here or spitballing in a sense, but like the perspective of the person, it doesn't serve anything, right? Like I was thinking about an example. Well, maybe somebody goes into a hedge fund and they're new and they have an opinion, but because they've done a bunch of work, I guess if they're getting into a hedge fund, the only reason they're getting in there is because they've done a bunch of work to learn the stuff to get in there. And they have a very rigorous hiring process. So only the best of the best of the best get in there. So they're already coming in with skills. So then maybe their opinion does have more weight, or they could make an opinion and then, I guess I'm rambling a little bit, but trying
well,
to
like
share
a lot of people, earning a degree in Harvard. I'm told, I don't even know this, I've just heard this, but
yeah,
like earning a degree in Harvard might not actually be more difficult than earning a degree at some college that you've never heard of. But getting into Harvard is much, much harder. So having a degree from Harvard matters more because
right.
the bar for getting in is much higher. So
Okay.
you're probably smarter.
Right. Yeah, and because I'm just trying to, in a roundabout way trying to get to some clarity here about, if I go into a place and I'm not saying don't share your opinion. Like if you think that your opinion is really valid and you really think that your opinion could make a difference, don't be afraid to share it, because some places will tamp down, like you can't say stuff because you're a beginner. No, you can say stuff, but just don't be surprised if the stuff you say is dumb, or if you get feedback that it's worthless, because it might be a worthless opinion. So I think it's useful to be okay knowing that maybe you can share. You see, I'm not saying don't share. I'm not trying to keep anybody down. If they really think they've got something, fucking tell it. But
Yeah.
if it's dumb,
But
comparatively
if you're,
speaking, in the domain in which you're working,
what's motivating your question, or what's motivating your opinion? And
right?
I think it's a useful thing to look at, because if your opinion is about making you look good, it's probably 100% bullshit. If it's about making, if it's about being superior to other people,
Right.
I don't think that's going to help you in any way, shape, or form. And I think a lot of times that's what the opinions of, like you're being like, hey, I can get that 6th degree in a week, right? Or I remember I said something similar to Peter. I said sometime shortly after I first met him that my views or my interests were not as myopic as his. I wanted, oh my God. Oh my God. Ah! I was such an asshole. And I assumed that he just does martial arts. That's all he does. He just does
Right.
martial arts and meditation.
Yeah.
And I didn't know. I was like, well, I was interested in other things. Like, and I wasn't even interested in a lot of other things. It was just a complete ego riff. It
Right.
was completely bullshit. And I looked like a moron
Yeah.
and a jerk.
Yeah.
And I was,
But
but it
at
was
the
my
time
opinion.
though, what was your experience? Because it probably wasn't like
I was,
now
I
we
was,
look
I think I
back
was
and we're
just
like, oh
trying, I
my
think
God.
I was probably insecure and just kind of trying to prop myself up a little bit. And, you
I
know,
just
yeah,
you know,
I think I
let
mean,
me
I don't even
impress
know what
this
a,
guy or something. Yeah.
yeah, let me impress this guy. Let me impress myself. Let me tell myself a little story, you
Yeah.
know, that kind of thing. If it's anything like that, if you feel insecure, you probably are, and you probably should just be quiet and listen
Work. Yeah,
and
listen.
work. And if you've got a question like where's the link or where's the door or where's the this or where's the that, before you go ask somebody, look.
There you go.
See if you can figure that out on your own. And if you
Yeah.
really can't, then go ask.
Yeah, there you go. That's some sound advice. Like take a minute to look. Take a minute to see if you can discover something that that might just be right there. At least a minute, 60 seconds?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That seems to be good advice. And or so when you're going to give one of those opinions say as a beginner, like what is it actually serving? Maybe I could be honest about that. Like is this actually a legitimate is it really just about what I want to learn here? Like no, I really want to learn this thing. Can I ask you this question? Like I think I want to learn this. I don't know how that works. You know?
I think one of the best moments for me in grappling in jiu-jitsu was being in a room and I realized that every single other man in that room could kill me if he wanted to. And it was like 12 guys. And I realized that they all could do it. And I realized I was afraid
Mm-hmm.
of each of them.
Yeah.
And then I chose to keep going anyway. But I definitely did so with a humble attitude.
Right. Yeah. I've been
It was
humbled
the
like that before. Yeah.
appropriate attitude.
Yeah. It's like, my skills, like, I'm pretty good. But then I get in a room of actual professionals and I'm like, I just shut the fuck up. Yeah. Like, I thought I was cool. I thought I was good.
Yeah.
Because I've been in a couple places like that. Not that I don't think I had that, but I've rolled with guys or been with people, and I've like felt the power and like, oh, that's a different level of fuck
Mm-hmm.
you up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, okay, this is getting more real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then my attitude shifts, and then I think it's beneficial to have that kind of attitude for the learning, because then
Well,
I just buckle down and learn, perhaps, or I don't know.
do you think there's a connection or a similarity in the attitude that you got to take if you're doing combat sports or even a martial art like Ching Shin, and if you're trying to become conscious of your own nature or how your mind is really working and what it's really up to, so that you are not run by your mind, say, so much, you've got more freedom in your life? Do you think there's a similar attitude? And if so, how? And is there a different attitude?
Yeah, that's interesting. Um, well, I mean, some similarities right off the bat. Discipline, being willing to work hard, be willing to face discomfort, because it's not about comfort. And I think that the guys that were here say I've seen martial apprentices come through. You know, I've been a martial apprentice for many years, and then I've also been a consciousness apprentice for years, and or for multiple programs. And the guys that did the martial tended to be more grounded, like just a little more solid. Like when we had martial guys that did consciousness work, they're just a little more settled down. Whereas the people that just did consciousness work, now they're more, probably more aware and could do more subtle things, you know, maybe break less shit, stuff like that. But they weren't as grounded in physical reality as somebody who's trained with their body and been impacted.
Break less stuff, you mean like small, like mechanical things, like with
if
their
I want to
fingers,
get
like
the place clean,
manual dexterity?
I'm gonna talk to the people that only do consciousness work, because they're gonna pay attention to finer details.
Wow, interesting. But if you want to build a wall or a porch, you want the martial guys.
Yeah, some people that can like hoss your shit around in a general sense. Now, I'm not saying there can't be hybrids or people that
Yeah.
can do both, or like, but just generally speaking. But we're a little bit off topic, and again, I'm generalizing here just based on what I've observed of people coming in and out. But similarities: discipline, willingness to learn, hard work. But I think it gets challenging with the mind. But still, I think guys that do martial stuff, they're willing to go with something whether it's comfortable or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is a quality that is not in somebody that just, say, does consciousness work. That there needs to be a willingness to face discomfort, and not just be like when shit gets hard, that's when you see how willing people are to continue, I'd say. So I don't know how this answers your question.
It leads me to another question. I'm wondering. What would make somebody want to go through the discomfort that you're talking about and the hard work?
Yeah, and I want to preface what I'm saying with it's not about being uncomfortable. It just can come up, is all I'm saying. It's because sometimes people think then that the doing the work, it needs to be hard, so they make it harder than it is because it needs to be hard.
Yeah.
And they're living an image of, I'm working hard. So they work like a quick story, and then I'll get to your thought. Like, my buddy was over here helping me, or like he was helping me build a house, and he was talking about this guy who didn't know how to work, and the guy was digging a trench, and he kept hammering at a rock really hard because the guy that hired him was like a wealthy guy that he was probably trying to impress. And my buddy Nick was over there talking to this uber wealthy guy, looking at this dude working a trench, being like, why the fuck is he just hammering that rock? And because the guy was like trying to impress this other person, he was just brutalizing, trying to put a tool through a rock, until eventually they went over there and look, just move the tool to the edge of the rock and pop it out. Like, what's the deal? And the guy was like sweating and grunting and doing all this shit and making it look like he's working really hard, but he's actually working like a moron because it took him way too long to get the rock out. So you don't need to make it hard.
You don't need to make it harder than it is.
Don't make it harder than it is.
It is the nature of the work. If you're digging a ditch, is already hard.
Yeah.
Don't make it harder.
Yeah.
But dig the ditch, get it done.
Ditch, yeah.
And don't make it harder than it has to be. But it's not going to be easy, but you don't have to make it worse.
Yeah, like that. That's stupid. But you were saying, what was your...
Well, I was just wondering what in your experience motivates people to get through the discomfort and to get through the hard on all that? What
That
makes somebody want to find the link and click on it?
you link finding motherfuckers. Yeah, now that's interesting because in some respects, if you can't see evidence of what you're going for, it is to some degree taking it on faith, as far as I can tell. Like there's either I can see physical evidence, like in Marshall, it's very clear because the guy can kick my ass and I can feel it. Say I've boxed with Peter, I've done Twee Show with Peter, I've done stuff, you know, played around with him, and I can feel it. And as soon as I feel that stuff, I go, holy shit, that's a different feeling. Oh, there's something to get. It's clear. Now, and same again from my stories of meeting Peter, I could tell not only was he really smart, not only could he move his body really well, and he had a huge martial ability, but then also there was like something else that I recognized about that person. That I'm assuming, like back in the day, I just got that there was something there. And I would call that today probably all the work he's done in consciousness and discovering principles like integrity, excellence, honesty, and stuff like that, that actually changed the human being. So then I see something impressive and I go, oh, there's something to get. See, and then it's like actually there. Now, barring that, what keeps people going, as far as I can tell, it's just an idea. And I say just as if it's like, but no, it could be
You're not putting it down, having an idea.
Yeah,
You're not diminishing
I'm not putting that like I railed a little bit in a short video that I might post here is like the people in Israel and Gaza, they are killing each other over an idea. There's something that they believe in, and it's a concept that somehow there is a representation, at least in their mind, there's something to get. There's something for me to get. And then so then all this hard work is moving toward that. You know, like I have some place that I want to go somehow, either an idea or I've seen it demonstrated to me, or somehow maybe there's a third option. I'm sure there's plenty more where there is the possibility of realizing something that is outside the current scope of the mental frameworks that exist. Like, you know, how the fuck, for example, did back we used to have the earth was flat, and now some people still believe the earth is flat, which sidebar, I think we should take a bunch of those people and blast them into space and just no, I don't mean literally shoot them into space and leave them there. I mean put them put them in a spaceship, send them up, maybe make a window so that they can see the whole process and then finally see the earth is round. I wonder if they'd flip shit or not. Like, anyway, I just would want Jeff Bezos, anybody, Elon, could you get the most prominent flat earthers and just shoot them up there for like a week?
Yeah, you need to target them. It's an expensive proposition, but yeah.
Can we just put that one to bed, please? But anyway, my point is flat earth, that used to be the reality. And then somehow, with no prior knowledge, somebody made a discovery. And they're like how does that happen? You know, how does somebody keep going like that? That seems to be like a natural keep goingness when there's no evidence of anything to go for. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say there? Or like first person to discover the wheel. Like how the fuck? Or fire. Okay, maybe lightning and stuff, but discoveries like somehow the earth isn't flat. And then those discoveries are even not culturally supported. Like Galileo was almost murdered because he was saying the earth wasn't the center of the universe or something like that. Yeah. So motivating people.
So you have to intuit, you have to somehow know that there is more to know than you know.
Maybe something.
And then you got to want to get that. You've got to realize that your current ability, your current level, your current consciousness, your current skill
Yeah, or
is
whatever domain. Again.
insufficient to what you consider to be possible. And that there's a way to get from where you are to where you want to be. And if you can't hold that there's more to possibility than what you've got, then yeah, you're not gonna find the link.
Yeah, I don't think.
I'm just gonna keep bringing it back to
Yeah, that's good. Sometimes these things take multiple times. I want to inspire a culture of investigators so we can bring
Mm.
about the consciousness apocalypse.
Hey.
If you look up the word apocalypse,
Don't tell him. Don't tell him. Don't tell him.
right, wait, we can't tell you. You guys need to go look it up now. This is your first test. Or like, yeah, it seems like an openness and an openness to your world is not the end all. Your
and a
level of
willingness
skill
to
is not
confront the unknown.
a willingness to confront and a willingness to. You have to be willing to do the work for sure.
And you may not even know what the work is.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you go and do, I think like physical locomotion is really good. Like you can be like, I want to get to the top of that mountain, but you've never been there before and you don't know anyone who has. Well, you just start going up and you figure it out as you go.
Yep. I want to build a house. Have I built a house? No.
But it's happening.
About doing that, but it's happening. Yeah. Am I a house building master? No, but I'm a lot better than when I started.
Yeah. Yeah, you can definitely talk about it in a way that I can't, for sure.
Right.
So yeah, I think for some people this is almost like for some people it's no mystery. For people who have done stuff, basically, for a lot of people are gonna just be like, yeah, dude, I'm there. I've been listening to you guys for however long this is now, and you haven't told me a damn thing. And other people,
Yeah.
it's gonna be like, what are they trying to say that I don't know, that I can't, that my opinion's not valid, that I need to know more? Are they elitists? Are they looking down on me?
Right. Totally
Trying to push me down? They just want to control people. Oh.
Yeah, so then maybe we could talk about our intent behind, like, why would I be saying these things? Because the whole reason that I would bring it up, and again, I might post a video about this comment on my next video on YouTube on the channel. The only reason I would bring it up is because I give a shit. I care about other people's ability to learn. I want people to learn, to grow, to be smarter. I want to contribute to the general culture of at least the United States and the world, at least a little bit, of don't be a fucking moron. I want smarter people around. And if you're interested in any skill like we've been talking about, or becoming conscious, or learning a new skill, or having more power in your life, or having more facility to get what you want, it's useful to be able to learn. And I care about that for others. And why do you talk about it?
Why do I talk about it?
Yeah.
I was asking myself that question. Consciousness and skill worldwide, aka don't be a fucking moron.
Do good in the world and be smart about it and hurry
It's
up.
better. Have you noticed?
Like your quality.
Yeah, I don't know. I was, recently I had an experience. I was feeling terrified of dying. Or recently, I mean, just the other night, like 2 nights ago, I noticed I was feeling really scared. Something reminded me of the imminence of my own death.
Yeah.
And the loss of everything that I think of that's me, my body, my mind, my emotions, my feelings, my desires, my hopes and dreams, my loves, my insecurities, my doubts, my everything.
Yeah.
And the people that I care about and all of that.
Yeah.
and and it was really freaking me out. And then I got a little more clear,
Yeah.
and that was okay now. and and um and then in that moment, after I because it's me, I'm gonna die, but it's just John.
Yeah.
And in that moment, I really I could imagine, like, I felt like the smallness of my life, and kind of like the uniqueness, so to speak. Like, I have like this little tiny itty bitty impossibly small nook of the universe, of all existence,
Yeah.
that is John, and his little world. And but so does everyone, and it's every single one of them is so well. I found beauty in them.
Hmm.
As I was considering them, I could look at them as like petty or whatever, but no, I found people have beautiful things that they create. And if you I just found it very beautiful. I don't know, maybe I don't know how to explain it.
I think could I clarify, like, maybe would you also find beauty in the fact that somebody might have a stupid thing?
Yeah, I
So no
actually
matter what they've
found
got. Yeah.
whatever they've got, they could be like hobbling on crutches, and they just live alone with their cat.
Yeah.
And um
Could you
so
could you also, like, if somebody had a disgusting, perverted, psychopathic one, could you find beauty in that?
yeah, I was feeling universal love for everybody,
Okay. Yeah.
regardless of the situation, and I was
Just
finding
that was
beauty.
my suspicion. That's why I
I
was.
was I was finding beauty in humanity,
Yeah.
and so I didn't have any desire to change it in any way.
Hmm.
But if I had a desire, it would be for things that make people happier and more fulfilled, and enjoy their experience in this incredibly small, time that is fleeting and finite,
Yeah.
to have a better time.
Yeah. So you
And
see in the
that
background.
skill and consciousness is like a nice way to do.
Yeah. The way to go. So thank you. That's very pretty, and thanks for sharing that. Appreciate it. On that note, we've got to wrap it up. So now you know a little bit more about our actual intent here. We might poke, we might prod, we might shame you, we might encourage, but it's toward that. So if some of our stuff is harsh, it's harsh for a reason. It's not hard. It's harsh for those reasons, not just to be a dick. I might edit that. Anyway, so you heard it here first, because this is the first place you heard that. And we're just trying to say that we love and care about you, I think, and we care about your
That's it.
well-being. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about. So
Enjoy your lives very much, and
yeah,
become more and don't be a moron.
yeah, just do
Try
good
not
stuff.
to anyway. It's better.
Yeah,
Try it out.
yeah. Anyway.
Click the link in the description.
So if you want to find out more, you need to find it out. Okay? There's links.
Also, it's in the description.
It's in the description.
It's in the description.
It's there. That means you have to click something and go to the website and tell your friends about us.
Everything. Tell them about us. Yeah.
Because we want to have a consciousness apocalypse. And you remember, you need to find out the definition of apocalypse, origin of that word. Okay, that's this week's assignment.
The origin of the word.
Origin of the word. Tell us in the comments. All right.
All right.
Love you guys. Love you. Happy
Love
New
you.
Year. Well, this will come out a little bit later. Fuck it. I'll catch you later.